Let's go from around the world and across the web. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. Another episode of Ask the Advisor, our sit-down and one-on-one with Marty Greenspan, founder, CEO, Quantum Economics, also one of the driving forces behind Quantum Expeditions, where they are actively mining Bitcoin right this very minute. Do you hear that? That's the sound of the ASICs doing their job, making and minting fresh Satoshis, baby. All right, Mr. Greenspan, how are you? Let's talk about the Fed and Chair Powell. What are your thoughts?
Hey, Matt. Yeah, very interesting meeting yesterday from the Federal Reserve. As we know, the U.S. Federal Reserve is the number one largest manipulator of markets in the world. And so we listen when they talk. Yesterday, Chair Powell was very dovish, meaning they were very supportive of the markets. Although there wasn't any sort of rate cut yesterday, we did get some indication as far as what's going to happen at the next meeting. The next meeting is going to be in 41 days from now. And currently, the markets are pricing in an 8.4% chance of a rate cut at that meeting. And Powell is very clear that they haven't made any decision about this next meeting. We don't know what's going to happen. It's a long time until then, and things might happen in the meantime. So what's more likely happening here is that Powell would like the markets to decide if there should be a rate cut or not, generally speaking. So if we looked at this yesterday, there was only like a 1% chance of a rate cut, and then, obviously it didn't happen because the markets were not expecting it. So as we get closer and closer to this meeting, we're gonna have to check back here. If this gets up to 80 or 90%, then we can say we're more likely to see a rate cut next time. And the markets, of course, did interpret this as a dovish meeting. You can see the S&P 500 here grinding into fresh all-time high territories. If we zoom out a little bit, we can actually see, here's the COVID crash, the 2021 bull run and everything like that. And then here we are now, definitely higher as far as the stock market is concerned. But it also affected all risk assets, and including meme coins. So here we can take a look at a few of the meme coins. Here's dog with hat. This is actually at the time of that presser. We could see it, the meme coins rising. Floki, very clear upward trajectory. It was going down for several days, and then came the Fed and saved the day. Dogecoin as well. And even Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin definitely rose. So we could see we've been going down the last few days. It's very possible that the Fed has kind of put a little bit of a backstop on that. But I would expect at this point some sort of volatility, some sort of choppy weather in the markets, rather than any sort of shoot to the moon. But I guess we'll see. Obviously nobody can predict the future. All in all, great speech and great reaction from the market. So thank you, Mr. J. Powell.
Let's shift gears and turn your attention towards Beefy. Have you checked out Beefy? Let's go under the hood and take a look-see. And inquiring minds want to know just how beefy is Beefy.
Well, yes, I definitely have checked out Beefy Finance before. In fact, Revolt Network, which Quantum Economics acquired about a year ago, is built on top of Beefy and a few other aggregators. So Beefy is basically looks across different blockchains and finds some of the greatest yielding, or you can search and find some of the greatest yielding smart contracts through there. And then Revolt comes and aggregates all the aggregators. Of course, as you know, we're taking Revolt now and rebranding it into Quora, which will be all of that and a lot more, including, an AI assistant to help you out with all of these investments, because this stuff can be pretty complicating at times. Beefy token, or BiFi, as they call it, BiFi token, pretty unremarkable over the last few months or year or so. I would say it's definitely on my watch list, though, and it's something that we definitely keep an eye on. If it does start to move in the northerly direction, I'll probably hop on board, because this is a pretty exciting one.
Here's one from a user on X, The Real Bitbull. Hey, Marty, hope you're doing well. Congrats QEX on getting close on completing the early bird crowdfunding of $300,000. What is QEX planning to put those funds to work? Well, give us a breakdown. What's happening over there at QEX, man?
Absolutely fantastic question, Bitbull. Thanks for asking about Quantum Expeditions, and thanks for your investment as well. It means a lot to us. Of course, the point of the Ask the Advisor show is for anybody to ask any questions that they have about financial markets, about what's happening in the news and how it relates to markets, about any projects that you'd like me to look into. I'm happy to do that as well, or of course anything that I'm working on, either in the capacity of building up or advisories. So definitely appreciate those type of questions there. So far, Quantum Expeditions through our WeFunder campaign have managed to raise $238,000. That puts the total raise up to around $830,000 in Quantum Expeditions. Right now, we're just coming to a decision. As you know, the halving is coming up on April 20th, on or around April 20th. This is a pivotal time for Bitcoin. The decisions that we're faced with, we'd love to open up a second site. We're currently looking into several options for that. Though I would say it would be difficult with the funds on hand at the moment. Depending on several of the options, most of the more juicy options are more in the 500 to 600,000 range, which we're not quite there at the moment. But we do have plenty of excellent options. Even if we don't make any infrastructure investment, we could still, even just with the cash that we have, pack it up with some more machinery into the current site. And just increase onto the bottom line, because every machine that we add makes more money for us and for the investors. I would say second week of April, we should have a much more, we should be narrowing down to a decision, but just before the halving is the time to be cautious and cognizant, and that's what we're going to do, is to react to the market conditions as we always have.